everyone, and welcome guys to my 1000 subscriber Q&A. And I think before we start, I'd like to thank everyone for sending me in questions. There were so many good questions, and for whatever reason that I didn't respond to your question, then do remember to leave it down in the comments and I will try to respond to that. I couldn't answer all of them, there might have been a couple I've missed out here and there, guys. But hopefully you do enjoy this Q&A. And let's move on then into the first question. Why do you support Jolyon Palmer? He's awful. Why is Palmer so bad? Why Palmer? Right, so I think, I'm going to answer this once and for all. The whole Palmer abuse thing, it's got to stop at some time soon. It's not fair on poor Jolyon or myself. Now, I like to think, I'm very, very patriotic. And I'm willing to support all the British drivers when they are in Formula 1. So some people seem to think, this is some sort of weird joke that I have. I genuinely do support Jolyon Palmer. I cannot, I'm not joking about that. I wouldn't go through all the abuse, if I didn't support Jolyon Palmer. But I do genuinely support him, and I think, he isn't as bad as a lot of people make him out to be. I would genuinely say he has been quite unlucky this season. A couple of times there's been a couple of mistakes where even I've gone, really? But I think on the whole, he's not doing as badly as a lot of people like to make out. Who would win in a battle, Jolyon Palmer or Ayrton Senna? Now, kind of feel that, in their current state, I think Jolyon Palmer might have the upper hand, but I think at their peak in Formula 1, I think it's a very close debate. The numbers seem to suggest Senna was the better driver, but I think Palmer could cause an upset in this sort of instance, so I'm going to have to go with Jolyon, to be honest. Who's a bigger Palmer fan, me or All Flatchus? Now, the Palmer questions, they're still coming in, so there clearly seems to be quite a strong addiction to Jolyon Palmer within my fan base. So, I think that's only fair. I've managed to influence you all quite well there. But, I think because, Old Flatchus lives basically in France, therefore he is effectively French. He isn't patriotic enough to support Jolyon Palmer, so I'm going to have to go along with myself being a better Jolyon Palmer fan. Is Palmer quite possibly the best driver ever to drive? Yes, I don't get how there can be any other option. Right, on to the next question, and oh thank Christ, one that isn't about Jolyon Palmer. Ask Matt. Now, I'm a fan of that hashtag, I won't lie. Why do you have a bowl haircut? Right, this is not a bowl haircut. I will display on your screens right now what is a bowl haircut. And clearly, I do not have one. I don't get why you seem to think I still have a bowl haircut when I quite clearly don't, mate. So, I don't have a bowl haircut. Let's just move on from that, please, now. How many other things have I bottled in the last 2 weeks apart from Monaco and Spain? So obviously this question was asked a couple of weeks back where I did manage to crash out twice in a row in AOR. And fortunately for you, I did manage to bottle Canada as well. I sort of gave up with that race because Indy 500 and I was doing terribly. But since then, I won Austria as well. So, it's on the way up for Matt. So, clearly I think we can go along with that. So, other things I bottled in the last couple of weeks when it comes to league racing, I bottled the WF1 Race of Champions. I pitted twice too many times in that race, got a drive-through and ran out of fuel, so that was pretty impressive. So, bottling, is quite a common feature in my life, so there's many other things I bottle around the home. Why am I so good at FIFA? Now, genuinely, this question honestly baffles me as well, because people that play me on FIFA, they will know I am an absolute god at FIFA, guys. I feel honestly sometimes it's unfair on other people how good I am at FIFA, but I think, my key strategy when it came to FIFA 17 was basically just spam all the buttons as quickly as you could, and also I made my Pro Clubs character, Jolyon Palmer, as accurately as I could. And that is completely genuine. My Pro Clubs character is Jolyon Palmer. If you see me streaming FIFA at some point, you will see Jolyon Palmer on there. It's bloody hilarious when the commentator goes Jolly on the ball, because that's his, name, whatever, what's it called? His nickname on the game. Does Technic Player 72 haunt my dreams? Now, he is one of the people that sometimes, comes to my live streams, I can only thank him enough for coming to the live streams, but he is one of the many voices swirling around my head when I try to sleep at night. Actually, he's one of the quieter ones, so, he's alright. He doesn't really torture me too much in my sleep. Why is your sister so damn awesome at driving games? Well, I'd like to thank for the question, Holly B. That turns out actually to be my sister's name, you know, so what a coincidence there. To be honest, I don't know how she is so incredible at driving games. You know, we did genuinely speak about putting her in AOR Tier 1 at one point, but, you know, she's a PS4 player and they kind of lack skill, so we decided, you know, against it. You know, sort of help the rest of those guys, you know, get a little bit quicker first, so they can at least compete with the Xbox One guys. Wein ist dein Geburtstag? Now, after a quick Google search, I found this to actually mean, when is your birthday? Now, my birthday is actually the 21st of February, hence the 212 in my YouTube name, you know, it's the 21st of the 2nd, so yeah, that sort of answers your question and also an entirely different question. So I think, you know, let's move on outside of F1 for a little bit and move on to some different questions. So if by magic I have now changed clothes, but still we'll skip over that. We'll move on to the next question. If I could choose between joining an F1 team or Peace on Earth, which F1 team would I join? Now this one I think is actually quite an interesting question because, you know, personally I'm not like a Ferrari fan, but I think for a lot of people, obviously given the opportunity, you know, Ferrari is always really the top goal, you know, that really any driver, never mind if Ferrari are doing well that season or what, everyone always wants to aim for Ferrari. But I think other teams that I consider would be Mercedes, obviously just because obviously they've got one of the strongest cars as well as Ferrari this season. But I think Mclaren also is a good shout, mainly because, you know, I'm a big fan of McLaren, and also the fact, you know, I get to spend all my time with an orange Formula 1 car, so, you know, can't really ask much more than that. Or potentially I'd go to Renault, you know, replace Nico Hülkenberg, and then I'd get to spend my days with Jolyon Palmer there. So, you know, quite a toss-up, orange car or Jolyon Palmer. You got to weigh it up just a bit. The next question, though, is who do I think will win the Formula 1 World Championship? And obviously that one is quite an interesting question, and I'm guessing obviously you mean the real Formula 1 this season. I think this video was recorded just after Monaco. Obviously I'm not 100% sure when this will go out, but I'm inclined to say Sebastian Vettel. He's obviously had a very strong season so far, but I think in all honesty, Hamilton will, in my personal opinion, and quite hopefully to be honest, he'll be able to claw it back, and I think Hamilton will still win the title. Now obviously I understand that that's obviously very biased. I'm a Lewis Hamilton fan, but hopefully, you know, I want to see Hamilton win, even though that will make Mercedes 4 times in a row when it comes to the Drivers' Championship. Now this next one I felt was actually a really good question, and this was if you could add one track from the US and 2 tracks from Europe onto the Formula 1 calendar, which ones would they be? Now this one actually took quite a bit of thinking, and I feel the US track was fairly simple for me. I went along with the Indy GP circuit because obviously, you know, it's been in Formula 1 before and it's steeped in history, obviously, after watching the Indy 500 as well. And obviously, it's stuck in my mind at the moment. And obviously, it would make it quite interesting, obviously, if the tyres could actually last the final corner, then obviously it definitely gave some interest in racing back when it was in Formula 1. When it came to European circuits, though, this one was a bit more tricky. My first track, probably without question, would have to be the proper Nürburgring Nordschleife. Mainly just because I'm a huge fan of that track, obviously. They'd have to adjust the cars and everything to be able to make it around that track. And obviously it's incredibly, incredibly dangerous, but I just absolutely love the full Nürburgring. So that would be one of the tracks I'd add to the Formula 1 calendar. And the second one, I think I'm probably going to have to go with a fan favourite, and that would have to be Turkey. It was a bit of a toss-up between Turkey and Valencia, but yeah, I'm going to go with Turkey for my second track there. So the Indy GP circuit, the Nürburgring Nordschleife, and the Turkish Grand Prix circuit would be my 3 tracks that I would put back into the Formula 1 calendar. The next question is, who is your favourite current / Formula 1 driver whose first name was Nico and their surname ends in Berg? Now, I think, you know, there's only really 2 options. Now, I actually looked down the list, and there's only 2 options, so I think I'm going to have to say Nico Jolyon. I'll talk about then a little bit more of F1 YouTube as such. And the next question comes in, who has the best F1 2011 career mode series? Now, if you guys don't know, All Flatchus also uploads an F1 2011 series, just like I do. You know, we go through all the different F1 games. But I think, you know, it's only fair that mine has the man, the myth, the legend, Jamie 183 in it. So I'm going to have to go with yours there. Definitely your F1 2011 series. This question comes in, can I get a shout out? Now, I can only apologise for this, but unfortunately I'm in a contractual agreement to only give shoutouts to Jamie183 at the moment. So sadly, that contract expires at the end of the year. So, if you come back next year and you get in nice and early before he does, then maybe, you can have a cheeky shoutout. But on a real note, though, what are your aims now? You've hit 1k subscribers. Now, obviously, the main aim now will probably be 2k subscribers, just because, obviously, it's the next stepping stone and things. And obviously, I'm always looking to try and improve the channel, guys, and obviously expand so I, obviously have more of an audience and things, so I can make more videos for more people, guys. But I think generally, when it comes to more of the channel, I want to take it in more of a general motorsport channel, I feel. There's things like I want to sort of dip out of F1 a bit and explore things more like endurance racing, IndyCar, and all types of things, even some motorbike racing. I know I did a little bit last year on MotoGP, but I think, I want to explore different things a bit more. Obviously, I've been stuck. I say stuck. I've been doing a lot of F1 this year, and hopefully, I can go back to doing some more different sort of things over the next few months. Obviously, Dirt 4 comes out tomorrow, hopefully, if this video goes up on time, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. The next question comes in once again from Jack here, and he goes, why did you cut out laps 2 to 4 at Austria in sprint challenges? What was said? Now, Jack, let's be fair, mate. You already know what was said, and it was some pretty dark stuff that none of us will ever forget. Next question coming in was about what products I would recommend to obviously record videos on. Now, I honestly don't believe that when you start out, you don't need to buy loads of things. Obviously, it's massively helpful. But I think really what you need is just a laptop with Movie Maker on it and just a capture card. Obviously, I personally use an Elgato because that's what I'm used to. But I know Roxio, from what I've gathered, have got quite a good one, and Ava Media. I've never used them, so personally I can't obviously recommend them perfectly. But I think all you need is just a capture card, a PC, and Movie Maker, and you're basically good to go. Even now, Xbox and PS4, obviously there's always easy ways to do it on PC, but Xbox and PS4 now even have ways built into the console that means you can edit videos. And obviously I've never used them, and I don't think, based on what I've seen, I personally probably wouldn't want to use them. But I think obviously if you're just starting out, anything like that, if you don't want to spend any money, is incredibly easy. It's becoming so much easier to get into video editing over the last few years, and I really feel that you don't really need much to be able to kick it off now. Obviously, one of the big parts of my channel is league racing, so obviously we've got quite a few questions about that came in, and this is the first one. When am I going to learn manual with clutch on Forza 6? I'm a noob. When Forza works with a wheel, in all honesty, I feel that obviously I have a clutch pedal now on my wheel, so hopefully, they've promised Forza 7 to be a lot better on a wheel, so I'm hoping, that obviously I can use a wheel on that game, and I'm hoping, that I can use clutch as well. And the next one that comes in, AskPleb212, not such a fan of that hashtag, I won't like. Are you ever planning on using manual with clutch? Nah, mate, stock gears. Stock manual is perfectly fine when it comes to games, I'm going to stick to that at the moment. I hope we'll win the Rookie League in Xbox One this season. There's a lot riding on this, obviously, someone's got to take the crown off me, obviously, where I'm not in that division anymore, and I'm inclined to say there's quite a few good drivers in there, but I think, there's only one man that really is above the rest, He also features things on, other videos and things, so obviously he's quite good at that side of things as well, and it's got to be Jolyon Palmer. Memorable Forza Motorsport 6 moment. Now, quite a few things spring to mind for this one. I think winning my first race in AOR on that game as well at Le Mans Bugatti back in the touring cars, my comeback through Watkins Glen in one of the GT seasons, so obviously two of those definitely to think of. But I think my most memorable moment will have to be when you've just decided to turn in on me at Road America and caused an almighty pile-up because you can't drive side by side with someone. Here's a clip of that now. So don't mind me, just driving along quite nicely, quite happily by myself. We've got Ben just up ahead of me there, and he runs a little bit wide going through the carousel there, so I'm going to get a good run out the corner, and I'm going to go pull alongside him there and go down the inside into the next corner there. But oh no, Ben decides to turn in instead, puts us both straight into a wall there. Now we're trying to recover from that. Another car comes in, completely takes me out again. Not his fault. And then coming down, you can see there's even more cars been put in the wall again. Even more cars spinning absolutely everywhere. There's a couple more cars flying in as well. And out of a 14-man lobby, there's another car going in there incredibly quickly. And out of 14 cars in that race, 9 of them were involved in that incident. And it's asking about what is my most memorable AOR race / moment. Now, once again, obviously, there's quite a few spring to mind. As I said, the last two about winning and also my comeback through a couple of races. And there's obviously a couple of double overtakes here and there that I've been able to do, as well as one triple overtake at Sebring, which I may try and get around to showing you guys. But I think probably my favourite race I've ever had on AOR would have to be AOR Season 12 around Spa. That race was absolutely ridiculous. Everything seemed to go wrong for me in that race. You know, I pitted at completely the wrong time. I nearly binned it. I got taken out. I nearly took a couple of other people out in those races. But somehow I managed to come through and still win that race. And it was also my 100th AOR race as well, which, you know, made it even better. Are you ever going to race in AOR? Now, not too sure exactly what you mean by this one, because I kind of already do, but I'm going to guess you mean AOR Tier 1 F1, and the aim, to be honest with you, is actually to get up there on F1 2017. I'm running no assists from the start on that game, so, you know, I'm hoping that I can obviously really sweat it out when that game comes out, and hopefully try and aim for the top tier of F1 next season. Am I interested in joining any further leagues? Now, obviously, I take it this is both Forza and F1. And to be honest with you, not really. I don't think, you know, I like to keep my league racing down sort of 2 or 3 a week. And now, obviously, I do the commentary as well for TWRL. As obviously, every week now, I just got the offer this morning, actually, when I'm recording this video. You know, I feel that, obviously, I enjoy streaming as well, other games. And I feel that doing too many leagues a week really just drains me. It means I can't do very well in any of them. So I'd much rather focus on, say, 2 or 3 and do well in those, rather than, you know, just doing different things as well. I'd much rather focus on, say, the F1 2016 League and the Chevrolet Corvette Cup on Forza, rather than focusing on, say, 5 different leagues across the week. So I think, you know, at the moment, I don't really fancy joining many more leagues, but sort of when, like, Project Cars 2 and things come out, I could be looking at more different things then to try and, like, stream more league races, rather than just make highlights from them all. That also ties in very well into the next question though, and am I interested in starting my own league? And not at the moment, I have to I won't lie. You know, I've obviously coordinated leagues on AOR and things up to this point, and it is hard work, and especially with YouTube as well. I'd much rather, you know, leave sort of like all the sorting everything out to other people for a little while than doing it myself. But, you know, maybe further down the line, I might try and set up my own league. I'll see how it goes. But not right at the moment, you know, there's really no desire to try and coordinate or set up a new league myself. Which is better, Noob Journey or AOR? Well, you know, you can't lie that the skill in drivers and the absolute precision that goes into making a good lap definitely proves Noob Journey above anything else that we see in Formula 1. We get a recreation of what happened to you after I disconnected on the last lap of Monaco AOR Season 12. So guys, I will leave you with a little clip of what actually happened in that race for those of you that don't know. And I think, you know, this is probably the best way to describe what happened. Safe to say I was pretty annoyed after that race, and I didn't actually expect that to make such a loud bang. Will Sabo make a good strategy call at Singapore this season round? Now, yeah, last season he completely bottled his strategy. You know, I think he was looking good for P2 or P3 in that race. And he completely bottled it and ended up going for 2 stints in the final dry stage of the race. And, you know, you think drivers learn from their mistakes, but he'll still bottle it. You know, it's Singapore, everyone does. Many congratulations on 1K subscribers. Oh, thank you. That means a lot to me. My question is, do you feel that you are mastering no assist at the moment, or is it still a learning curve getting used to no TC or no ABS? There are loads of quick no assist users in the F1 community at the moment, so I thought I'd like to ask you if that's okay. Well, of course it's okay, mate. Obviously, it's a QnA. And definitely there are a lot of quick no assist drivers now in the F1 community. You know, it's becoming more of a community where driver skill seems to really help boost your audience, I feel, at the moment. But I think, you know, for me personally, I'm slowly but surely getting there when it comes to no assist. I've never really struggled with no ABS. It's really just been about the traction control, which I know is basically the same sort of story for everyone. I definitely haven't perfected it yet, but I feel I am slowly but surely getting there. And hopefully by F1 2017, I should be basically good to just run no assist full time. On 2017, so I thought I'd leave in a couple of questions about the new game. And the first one, what do you think the new F1 2017 game will be like? Now, obviously, I'm on the beta test for F1 2017 at the moment. Obviously, I'm not telling anyone anything about it at the moment, but I think it's probably, to be honest, obviously, I've only really been able to do a couple of very little things on there so far, but I think they're honestly going to try and make it a next-gen F1 2013. to be brutally honest. You know, obviously, I think, for me personally, why I think that is mainly due to the classic cars, but coders, you know, F1 2013, I think, is overall, in, like, the community, I'd say it's probably the best game that they've made. I think a lot of people would agree with that. Hence why, you know, I do an F1 2013 sort of 1990s career mode as well. But I really feel, you know, that F1 2017, they might try and make it a lot like 2013 for next gen, just to really try and boost the success that it had. Which racing games am I most excited for, excluding F1 2017? Now, there are a lot of games, driving games more specifically, coming out this year. And as I mentioned before, Dirt 4 is coming out tomorrow, hopefully, when this video goes out. But there are definitely other games that I'm really excited to play. You know, Project Cars 2 is a big one. I also mentioned that earlier on. You know, I really hope that game lives up to how well they are hyping it this time round. You know, there's a lot of good series that they're trying to put in that game. So I just hope that it's not broken, and in all honesty, depending on how good that game is, I could be tempted to make the switch over to Project Cars 2, obviously more over than sort of Forza. Obviously, I'll still play F1 a lot, but I hope, you know, Project Cars 2 is good. But as I said, you know, Forza Motorsport 7 as well should be coming out, and obviously I'm a huge fan of the Forza franchise when it comes to both the Motorsports and the Horizons. We've also got Need for Speed 2017, which in recent years, sort of since 2013, I haven't really enjoyed the Need for Speed games. But I really think, you know, I could try and have a look back into that game, depending on obviously what people want to see. I'm actually quite interested in that game. You know, I might do a little playthrough on the channel as well. And, you know, other games, you know, I think deserve a mention as well. Micro Machines is looking, obviously, from Codemasters as well. That game could be quite fun. The Crew 2 as well. There has obviously been much said about that, but that could be very good as well, depending on, obviously, where they set it. And also a game that not many of you might have heard of, but there is actually a game coming out based on the Isle of Man TT, which I think could be very interesting, and that should be released in the next few months. But hopefully, you know, you guys have enjoyed this video. Obviously, very different to anything that I've ever done on the channel before, guys. And obviously, hopefully, you know, if you have enjoyed this video, I will do another Q&A down the line, guys. But hopefully, you know, as I said, if you do have any questions that were not answered, leave them down in the comments down below, guys. But as I said, hopefully you have enjoyed this video. Do not forget to like, subscribe if you are new around here, guys. Thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers once again, and I will see you guys next time for a brand new video.
So promise that you'll catch me.